when the sun starts to fade away, baby, my love for you will still shine. You know, Manya, you know, Manya, you know my love is only getting deeper. Oh, you know, Manya, you know, Manya, you know my love is only getting deeper. Usaczkę inny.
Good evening, hello and welcome. All good evening for us, good morning for some of you, good afternoon for some of you, but hey,
greetings
100%.
A lovely evening to join you once again as we have marriage discussions on Mr. and Mrs. Welcome, Molly. We see you are here bright and early, and welcome, Anopa. Please just let us know where you're joining us from. Would love to hear where you're joining us from tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to give you a big shout out and let you know, hey, Penny.
Hey, Penny.
Welcome, Penny. We love Penny. Dub. So please don't mind our dog tonight. Our dog is outside. We took her lights, so that's one of the lights that's here. So she's gonna be. So don't mind our dog. But anyways, thank you so much. Tonight we've got a fantastic show that we're going to be bringing you. We've got a wonderful couple.
Yeah.
You know, we've related with these guys for a little bit now, and we once invited them on a radio show. We had so much fun on that show, and we said, you know what, we promised each other that we're going to invite each other again very, very soon. And now the time is here where we've called them back on our Facebook Live show. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. So a couple of shout outs, Tafadzo Apolokwani, yeah, Mzansi.
Hey,
yes.
Tafadzo.
Thank you, Tafadzo, for joining us. Okay, so we're gonna just wait for a little bit. They're still, getting themselves ready because they were also, at the virtual Star FM Awards. So I'm sure they're now just getting ready to be online as well, because they're online, but just sorting things out. They have to be in two places at once
at the same time.
That's how important these people are at this present moment. So one of the reasons why we have called them on, we are starting on a new series where we're talking about how important it is for husbands and wives to be a team, to complement one another as opposed to compete with one another. And so this for us is one of the perfect examples for us that a couple that are working together and that are working through teamwork. And so we want to find out from them, what exactly is it? What does it mean? How does it work to have a situation where, you have dreams and you work on those two dreams, or do you put one dream aside for you to work on the other, or how exactly does it work? Do you put on hold one of the dreams, or how exactly does it work for you to advance as a couple? So we're gonna start.
Yeah, and I think as couples, sometimes it's a real challenge because even though we are one, there's things that are peculiar or particular to Simba, and there are things that are particular to me. The dreams, things that I like to do, things that I envision myself doing, and so does he. And so putting the two together for some people becomes a real struggle. And you find most people say, I feel like I've had to put myself on hold, or I feel like I'm the one who's just making the sacrifices, and things like that. So it can be a point of contention for couples. So we thought, we see these two actually receiving awards because they're working together. What better couple to bring on and help us, to navigate through this topic.
So before we put them on again, please share this broadcast so that we can have as many people join us as possible. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to type them onto the comment section. Hey, Nyasha from the Czech Republic. Come on now, all over the world. We like it like that. All right, so Janet and Munya Manyo, okay, Munya and Janet Manyo are, our guests for tonight. Again, they're still, in the background getting ready, but as soon as they're up, we'll just bring them into the stream. But yeah, they are an amazing couple that are doing well. They're an amazing couple that are a power couple, really, who are navigating this terrain in very interesting ways. And so that's the reason why we've called them on to help us and to teach us as well, and give us some tips on how they're making it work. And I know there are quite a number of people that have been asking as well that, what exactly does it mean? How does it really work? How do we put this into practice, this teamwork thing into practice? Because we once did a video on teamwork. And so people were like, okay, but we hear you, we hear the theory behind it, but how do you actually put it into practice? What are the practical steps that you take in order for you to work as a team, as husband and wife? So Janet and Munya, please give us a thumbs up if you're ready, so that we can bring it on. Okay, not quite. Yes. All right.
Yeah. So I think about 2 weeks ago we had an interview, and one of the questions that was asked, or in fact somebody posed a scenario where I think they actually said a friend of theirs, they ended up separating because their husband was saying, you know what, I feel like I've always wanted for us to live in the farm setup, and the wife was like, no, for me, I'm the urban girl. I need to be in the urban areas. I can't do this farming thing. And for them, it became a point of struggle to say, okay, so who's going to give in to the other? And yet, genuinely, this person feels this is the kind of lifestyle that I want to live. And the other person genuinely feels like, no way, I'm not going to do that. So, in different areas, you'll find that people are faced with this scenario, this situation that can be very difficult to manage, because one person is really feeling like you're getting me in trouble, when you try and push me into that direction.
Yeah, and and unfortunately, past generations didn't really do a good job of painting the picture for us, because you would always then find situations where either the mom was a housewife and was taking care of the family at home, and the father was out there living out his dream, or rather just doing stuff that needs to be done to sustain the family. And so we never really actually knew what our mom's dreams were. Did they actually have dreams? Did they have talents? Did they have gifts?
This is generally speaking.
Yeah. Other than making the best cakes, other than making the best food, other than sewing all the different rips in our clothes, did our moms have dreams, and what happened to those dreams? So we want to try and change that narrative a little bit, so that when at the end of the day, we can all look back and say, we lived our best life.
Yeah.
I was able to fulfill my dreams. You were able to fulfill your dreams. And you know what? We had a good marriage. We had a happy marriage. And so we'll look for as many people as we can who are, doing what they're doing to make things work, so that they can also show us, how to do it. All right. We got, okay, we're still, thumbs up. Munya, Janet, thumbs up. Yay!
Are we good?
All right, they're good. And here we go.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Munya, I see you're now part of the beard gang. The last time I saw you, you were not, you were clean shaven.
Yes. A lot has changed.
A lot has changed. My goodness. I mean, I tried, but I thought it's not working out. It's not working out quite according to plan. But thank you so much, guys. I know you have such a busy schedule, and I know you were also, at the same time in the Star FM Virtual Awards. And so thank you. We really do appreciate you taking your time out to come and on the hot seats and just share your lives and your experience and your marriage with us and everybody else that's watching.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're doing an amazing job. I liked the previous edition.
The
I'm so
last
glad I
one,
wasn't in that panel.
I want to ask you questions on that.
But challenge accepted.
Challenge, yay!
Nice, well
So
done.
for those of us who missed out on the last one, please go watch our last
Yeah.
video. There was a challenge there, so make sure that you join. You've heard them. Challenge accepted. Make sure
Special
that you join me.
Fantastic. All right, guys. So just to begin with, you guys are an amazing couple. Janet, you are an award-winning artist who is in the gospel genre, and so how have you guys been making it work? In fact, maybe the first question to ask is, how did Janet Manyoa Music come about?
Hey, yeah, I think when we started, she used to tell me that she was a very good singer, and
She used to tell you
obviously-
when you guys were dating.
when we guys were dating, courtship, etc., and Dad would always tell me, Munya, I want you to support my daughter. She can sing, that kind of thing. But it took a bit of time to convince me, because I think perhaps I didn't have the revelation at the time. But eventually I picked up that she's very talented, and I'm actually the one who encouraged her to start recording. She saw herself more as an underground artist, an underground worship leader, but I saw something, and I believed in it, and that's how Janet Manyoa Music started. So I, somehow God worked everything together. Dr. Comfort Manyame came to Zimbabwe at the time, and we met at the HICC and spoke randomly, and from there we established a relationship. And he was very instrumental in encouraging Janet, and took her up as a mentee, and yeah, that's how everything started. And they went into studio together and did the first song, Amazing God. And but it took a lot of convincing, me convincing her.
Who were you convincing her?
Convincing her to actually start recording. She always saw herself as an underground worship leader.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been married?
10 years.
Wow. So you've been
10.
married for 10 years.
Yes.
And how far into the marriage did Amazing God come? Because you said that was the first song that she actually recorded. So how far into the marriage did the first song come?
3 years.
3 years.
When did we get married? 5 years.
It was no.
4 years. 20, because we got married 2011.
Yeah, 11, 12, 13.
2015.
No, end of 2013.
No, he's the
I'm the
manager.
manager, so
Manya would know, Janet. He's the manager.
record keeping
Okay, 3
is my
years.
thing.
You win, man.
3 years.
Sorry. There's one person we need to give a shout out. Jean Mugoni. Thank you so much for tuning in. She said, Mr. and Mrs. Mnerusaru. Okay. Sorry. Here's a big shout out all to you, Jean, and your hubby. Special shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining. Okay. Sorry. Go on.
Okay. So three. Okay. Let's just say 3 or 4 years into the marriage. So during that time, Munya, who was trying to sell the vision to who? Janet, you were telling him that you can sing. Were you trying to convince him at that time that, you know what, I really have the voice? And were you trying to convince her that, we could actually make something out of this?
Well, I think initially it was her, I wouldn't say convincing me, but perhaps just stating that she, and I think I could hear, perhaps it took me personally and individually some time to actually recognize and look at it in that way. But eventually, it then took me convincing her that, you know what, you've got an amazing gift, and I think the world needs to hear this.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how it
And
happened.
so did you, Munya, did you have an idea of how this thing was going to blow up? And in that, were you sort of secure in yourself that if Janet blew up and her name goes so much bigger than your name, had you thought about all of those things while you were encouraging her that, you know, one day her name is going to be bigger than yours, and one day it may obscure you, one day it's her face on billboards, one day it's people asking for her autograph or wanting selfies with her, one day it's, did you envision that as you were encouraging her?
Yeah, of course. I think at the end of the day, the way I view things is her success is my success. And I am secure in myself as an individual. So I just simply allowed her to do what God has called her to do, and me being the pillar of support. So definitely, in actual fact, I was pushing that we get to that level.
And Janet,
Yeah.
and Janet, in that, you know, I mean, I've noticed that every time that, well, before the lockdown, when we were able to meet up, I a couple of awards that I saw you receiving, and you would sort of bow, curtsy, and give them to Munya. What's that all about?
Okay, so that one I didn't notice you noticed. To me, it was a signal of submission to him. I believe in submitting to my husband. As much as I don't think I'm not an oppressed wife, or but I believe it builds him up for me to submit to him. So it's not for me, it's for him.
Right.
I believe it builds him up, and I really know the work that he goes through and that he has gone through over the years to build the brand, so to speak. So it's really his hard work. You know, sometimes I win Video of the Year, and I just laugh that, you know, if people only knew how I was kicking and screaming, I don't want to do another video. No.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, you need to do. Then he has to nyingeteza me. Come on, you know, I'll help you with the kids. And I'm like, okay.
Well, why don't you tell us your work relationship? Who does what? You know, in this whole in the JMM. Yeah, who does what?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
So,
can do that.
so we are in it together, really. The broad aspect of it. At the beginning of the year, we have a strategy session, which is comprised of, we are normally 3 or 4, but we are the core people. And we assign roles in that meeting. So it's actually quite a formal meeting with minutes and agendas and everything, where we, maybe because we come from professional backgrounds, we just understand things better when they are formal and professional. Yeah. So we then assign roles. We call him the steerer, like steerer. We don't know whether it's a correct English word, but we call him steerer, like steerer of the ship. So the steerer, who's our CE, he generally holds sees the vision of the music or the brand. How are we going to maneuver through the year? So each time you see us release a single or whatever, it has been planned for way in advance. So we
Right.
have the 1 year plan or the 5 year plan. And then he really puts us to work. So yeah, for me, we split our roles in that he's more of the strategic thinker, the marketing, the brand guy. And I thank God for that. And I believe it was very important to have someone who thinks branding so that I can think ministry. I think it's not right it wouldn't have been an equal balance if we are both branding or if we are both marketing. We're both ministry. You know, we have very many ministers in our generation who just think about ministry and they don't think about the business side of things. So I would be very happy to just sing for free every day.
Right.
I'm happy. And I think it caused a bit of tension, for lack of a better word, at a certain point where I would say, no, I want to go and sing. I just want to sing for Jesus.
I just want to sing.
I just want, and he's like, no, we need to break even. It's good.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
God is opening doors, but we need to be realistic. So he's the realistic one. And I believe God put us together to maintain that balance. So I've waffled quite a bit, but he's the visionary. I'm the doer, and we both pay attention to detail. So we scrutinize everything together, and we bounce off ideas each other. But really, he is and I think it works better because he's the priest of the home. It's easier for me to just let him be. And when we disagree, he will sometimes have the final say just because.
Sometimes.
Don't have the final say.
Sometimes, but not all the time.
I will persuade when things are not. I will use persuasive ways to.
I know how that goes.
You use tactics.
I know how that goes.
But
Yeah.
Janet, how did you guys come to say, okay, I think he is the guy for this role? I mean, initially, for you to come to a point where you say, okay, I think we need marketing and he is the person to do this. Was it just an automatic thing, or did you actually sit down and say, who's going to be the best guy to handle this for us?
You know what? We when things started, like he was explaining, he was more of pushing me really. I think I had the calling and the vision in my heart, but I was too scared to go out and do it. So he was the encourager and everything. So he kind of covered the steering part, but he was giving direction. And then I think at a certain point, because we've learned a lot in our journey, at a certain point, we then felt I was now complaining, no, I need another manager who's not you.
Really?
Yeah, I need another manager. You look for another artist. Oh my gosh. And then yeah, because we learn through everything we go through.
Yeah.
But then we actually realized there was no one who could do it better than him.
Right.
So I really believe he's actually qualified. It's not a matter of husband and wife where the husband then just becomes a manager.
Yeah.
We actually went through the whole thinking who can be your manager, and we actually shortlisted and realized no, you are actually good for this job. And you'll see that many people actually contact Monya, can you be your manager? Can you? Because he's actually good at it. It's not just and that's where I believe that God knows our destinies. When he puts us
Yeah.
together, he knows that our gifts will complement each other. I was laughing the other day saying I thought I was going to get married to a guitarist or a
Oh wow.
pianist.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So I see and they
And
And
you play
plays.
guitar.
Oh my goodness
but,
me.
but God had a perfect plan, and
Yeah.
I can never ask it to be the other way.
Yeah.
It's been a perfect plan the way it is. Yeah.
Okay, so for you guys, okay, just to bring it home, for you guys, it's music. For another couple, it could be whatever gift that they have in their home. What are some of the pointers that you can give a couple to help them actually come to a point where they appreciate the gift that they have, and also begin to make that gift productive? Because I think it's easy for us to look at each other and say, oh wow, sweetheart, you are amazing with directing, you're amazing with baking, I love the way that you do this, but fail to actually realize that this is a gift that we've been given, so let's make it productive. So what advice would you give to a couple, to couples really, to say, how do you identify the gifts that you have in the home, and how do you steer it that it becomes something that is profitable for you as a couple?
And how do you draw it out? Because like you're saying, you had to encourage her, you had to draw that out of her to be able to sing and minister in front of people.
I'll give it a go and say, I think sometimes as couples we don't communicate enough.
Right.
Because if we have the platform that helps us communicate, we would really, if we have those heart-to-heart conversations, I think I would, in the past, I would have told him, look, I'm really scared. I don't want to go because my fears are 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, he was helping me from an informed position. So I think from the other couples that I've spoken to in various fields, I think that sometimes as couples, we don't speak enough for us to draw out the gift from the next person, because you're just keeping it in yourself. You're like, so I don't know if I'm answering your question right. Love, maybe you can step in, but I think communication is the basis of understanding the giftings that are in the other person. Sometimes I really think sometimes as couples or as people, we overlook our gifts and are looking for some other gift out there. But your partner, because they know you, they live with you, they know you so much, they can be able to say, look, you actually have a gift in this, and draw it out of the next person. But I think the basis is really communication between couples.
And understanding your passion, I think. In our case, it I don't know, it just, everything fell through together. I was literally passionate about music from a very young age. Like,
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I used to participate. I remember in high school, the high school shows. I can't remember what they call them, talent shows or whatever they call them. Yeah. And I remember I used to, I used to rap and
Really?
Yeah, but I was that passionate about music, and at some point, I remember I was at one radio station doing their gospel show on a pro bono basis. So I'll just literally dedicate my time to do that show and promote other gospel musicians. So it came naturally as a passion, and thankfully we have harnessed that passion and her passion for singing which is within the same sort of domain to push the music. So I think it takes a level of passion to really understand and get going. I just don't know in instances where perhaps one of the spouses is not passionate
Passionate
about the gift, the other. So, but then in those instances, I think I don't know how I can articulate it, but it no love, yeah. That's dying
That's
to
it.
self, giving
That's it.
yourself away for your partner for them to achieve their dreams. So it and again it boils down to communication, as she has said. Yeah.
I think just to add to what Munya said, our marriage counselors told us at a certain point that when we were getting ready to be married, that you're not yet ready for the marriage commitment if you're not ready to die to self.
Yeah.
There are other things that you shall have to die to self, and you need to prefer one another, like the Bible says. Prefer one another. What's more in marriage? If you're gonna prefer a stranger over yourself, what about your spouse? But
Your
sometimes we actually prefer the strangers
True. That's true.
Tell us, how do you guys? So you've described to us your work relationship. How do you separate your work relationship from your home relationship, or if you do separate at all? How do you manage that? Say, okay, fine. Now we're home. Take off the head of the manager or the producer. Take off the head of the artist that I'm managing or I'm producing. Now I just want you to be my wife, or I just want you to be my husband. Where are there demarcations, or it's just in there? It's a gango in there.
It's you want to take it down?
Yeah, you can. I'll add after you.
I think we are work in progress.
Yeah.
We are work in progress. We've only been in music for 6 years.
Yeah.
And we are work in progress. Most of the things we are learning, but we have it at the back of our minds that we should separate music from our marriage. So we allow each other to call out. I think
Yeah.
Let's take a step back.
Let's take a step back, and we actually look for activities or something that we can do that takes our mind off, because you end up overworking and working instead of building on your marriage, family, children, and all that. So we are very intentional about telling each other, maybe something has hurt me from music. I will then say
crossing over.
yeah, and you know about the story, but I say now you need to listen like my husband.
I need the husband's ears.
I need the husband's ears who will just say, "Oh, it's okay," and just
and
don't
who will take
worry.
my side.
No, exactly. I want you to take my side. And then the manager, when we finish talking, you can be the manager and then tell me what went wrong. But yeah,
It's funny that you're saying that, because we're asking because there are several couples. We have seen people who work together as husband and wife, but it's in different fields. And for some people that's the struggle, and for other couples that have actually watched that, feel like maybe working together as a husband and wife is actually not a brilliant idea, because there's that ability to, or potential rather, to take issues from the work into the home. So I like what you're saying, that we actually have to tell each other, hey, let's take a break.
And yeah,
and even with our phones, we have set timelines where we we put our phones away, and it's family
Okay.
time. It's time with our children.
Right.
You know, we've got specific days or dates for our own marriage, where nothing else matters at that point. So we've compartmentalized, as you always say. Compartmentalized, yes. Yeah.
Right. That's so good.
Yeah.
And then as a couple, right? So we see, Munya and Janet Manyoa, who look perfect, with their adorable kids, winning awards and, just apart. How do you manage or handle the pressure that comes from expectations, from community, from people around you to be perfect and always be tip top and, to just always be on your game, on point all the time? Do you feel like it's a thing, or for you it's just it's neither here nor there? Pressure to perform and pressure to be perfect.
I think the pressure is there, but one thing I learned a bit earlier is you need to be yourself and have people connect with you with just who you are. So the life that we live out there should be reflective of how we live in our home. So I think that removes the pressure, because the pressure comes from comparison, and pressure comes from trying to live up to people's expectations. I remember my child asking me, "Mom, people at school said, so does your mom drive a Lamborghini?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why do I think that?
Wow.
What's my CD?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the pressure and the expectations are there, but it actually, I believe I'm so passionate about future generations and how they perceive us, and I always want to tell them, look, what being a public figure or being known doesn't mean that you have to live a certain way, or to put pressure on yourself to dress a certain way or have a certain car or whatever. Be yourself. And I think that realization helps a lot of people, that you can just be normal. You need to be normal, and the pressure is there, especially this day and age of social media. If you follow it, you will you will flip flop. So I think the pressure can be there, but we always encourage ourselves to never succumb to that pressure. We need to be real. We need to continue to be real, to show Jesus in a real way. To show where we might be weak or where we are strong, and just be normal people.
Just be normal. Yeah.
All right, so we've got someone here. This is Jean, who says Simbana aivhunzaika kuti vakasangana ipi, so people want to know kuti makaonana kupi.
How did the love story start? So we have to bring that.
He promised me.
That story.
He promised. He promised me. Now let me tell you guys. Ininda kumba kwedu kuya kwaRarare nichitsvaga flat.
Okay.
Well, it's part of the story. It's part of the story. He doesn't want to admit. Then I was looking for a flat. Then he told someone to say, "No, I'm gonna do my flat."
Oh yeah.
This day, I
You're a
don't
real
even
estate
know
agent.
one person who got a flat, a house.
Did you get the flat then?
Did you get the flat?
I got him.
It was
a
work
flat.
in progress.
I got.
So tell
But
us, how did
anyway,
it
we
develop?
were in the same workplace, but that's how our story began.
Yeah.
But he promised me a flat. He promised me a house, but I guess he was talking about the future.
The
Yes.
marriage. Okay. Okay. Munya, what's your version?
Yeah, because there are always two versions to this.
Yeah, that's the correct version.
So you saw her at work,
Yeah.
and you were like, okay,
And
go on.
Was it an
then I
instant thing?
heard,
You saw her and instantly you're like, that's her. That's the one.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
And he made a bet before I was even. He said, "Do you know I'm gonna marry you?" And I said,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
$100.
Oh. Really?
But yeah. But when I saw her, it was just like uyundiye. But I just didn't know how to go about things. So when I heard that she was looking for accommodation,
oh, you thought an opportunity right there.
then I thought,
Mhm.
And I wasn't
Let me
gonna be
utilize
nasty.
this.
I wasn't gonna be nasty to someone who was trying to hook me up with the flat.
Of course.
And then taking me all through Harare saying, I know you, I will get you this one and this one.
then after a few weeks,
Well, it worked.
where is the flat? And I was just like, no, I'm making a plan. I spoke to that other guy.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's our
that's
story.
how we started talking, and yeah, that's our story. Yeah,
Our workmates are just gonna laugh.
yeah.
But are you guys still in both in full-time employment? Because I think that's one other area that couples struggle with as well. To say, okay, there's the aspect of wanting to follow passion. So do I follow passion at the expense of something that is actually providing for us as a family right now, or do we just concentrate on this area where we are actually getting an income from? So I think there's that struggle with most couples to say, okay, is it about passion? It's about what's feeding the family.
Yeah.
We're both in formal employment, and we believe that our employment has been a stepping stone for us to follow our passion.
Right.
So we always encourage people, even musicians, that you can't have one source of income because we don't want desperate gospel singers. Or you don't want to be a desperate carpenter. You don't want to be a desperate film producer or whatever. If you can have, it doesn't work the same way all the time. But if you can have the choice to step on something to get to your passion, because most of the times our passions will take from us a lot before they give us. So it's very important for you to have sources of income that help you step to the passion place. Because passion aijigiwega.
Yeah, passion is a very
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. We always advise.
There's that
people.
joke about I think it's a wife who gave a husband an empty plate and said, "Ijga, passion."
Yeah, I've
That's
seen
what
it.
you saw the passion.
thing.
Yeah,
Monya,
but
I want to take you back a little bit. I know you touched on it when we began, but I think this is such a thing for a lot of men out there. You said you were secure in yourself. Where would you say that security sort of comes from for a man to be able to promote his wife to a point where his wife really shines while he's sort of in the background? I mean, I know people, personally, people who actually ended up sabotaging their wives, because the limelight or the focus or the popularity was too much for them to handle and for them to bear. Where would you say that security or that boldness for you to be able to say, I'm good in the background, and I'm good just pushing my wife forward and encouraging her and getting her to be the one that's shining up in the front in front of people. Where would you say that comes from?
So for me personally, growing up, I suffered a lot of insecurities, but when I got born again, and I began to realize who I am in Christ, and at church they've got this program, Walking Free, and for me, Walking Free really helped me in a lot of ways. It helped me to deal with issues to do with rejection, the root of rejection, and many other topics that really sort of spoke to me and made me realize that I have to be secure in myself, and I know who I am. I think there's that song by Sinach, and so it came from that, knowing who I am in Jesus Christ, and from there I've just supported wholeheartedly.
I could add, I think he's forgetting some of the things that he sometimes tells me. I'm there to support you. See? There was an example that you were giving the other time that lighting another person's candle does not dim yours. Yeah. So it doesn't. What can only happen? It was actually him who said, what can only happen is there will be more light if you light the other person. And he always jokes and says, well, Manyoa is my surname, so I like that. Yeah. So I think as couples, most of the time, maybe men would have a different perspective, but as couples, most of the time, we don't burn brighter because the other candle is off.
Oh, wow.
That's so good.
Wow.
If anything, we will have more light because we've got two candles burning, and
there's blessing in that as well.
And I think Munya's vision generally as a person had nothing to do with being a front person, a front row kind of guy. So it would have been definitely insecurity on his part to then say, okay, because I'm not in front, both of us cannot be in front. So which is most of the times what happens, that you're not a footballer, right? But you now don't want him to be a footballer, but you can't be a footballer in any case. So I think that security, even for and I believe it's a mentality that I have that is still to be proven correct, is even as wives, you need to support for you to be supported. You reap what you sow. Sometimes we want the support, but we don't want to give the support. So something has to be working for you to then get the support that you need for a business project, or for I don't know, whatever talents we pursue. We also need to sow the seed of support for us to receive the support.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we're going to ask, one of the questions we're going to ask was that, from the outside looking in to your lives, we see more Munya sort of doing the most in terms of supporting, your vision, the dream, and, the gifting, the talent. Are there areas, Janet, where you've taken time out to learn his world and also, begin to invest in his world and, push and encourage his world?
I believe so. Like, for example, I let you watch football. I believe there are areas that I give support to my husband because I believe that for me to get support, I actually don't want him to feel like he's always supporting me and I don't support him. So it comes back to the communication thing that we said, that most of the times we are in strange places because we don't communicate. So I'm more of a talker, as you can see. He's less of
Funny
a
enough,
talker.
I think there are about 3 or 4 people that commented and said, we thought Janet was shy. We are quite surprised. You know.
So I talk and I have to get the information out of him.
him.
And I have to help him. Guys, okay, now
Tato's or not that.
It's
out in the open. It's out in the open. So guys, we speaking to you tonight because you are a couple that's in the limelight. So you would be our celebrity couple, right? So the interview is because you are a celebrity couple. And I'm sure people want to know you a little bit more than just the music and the work that you do on stage and the branding and all that. So
the next round of questions is a little personal, but not personal, don't worry.
So this is just a game that we're going to play, and you can point
to the person.
Okay. So
let's do this.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right. So who is more romantic? Janet, are you pointing to yourself?
Yes. What
is that allowed?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Okay, why are you pointing?
Huh?
Why are you pointing?
Who are you pointing?
I think both of us.
I said more.
Who's more?
We are in equal proportion.
Right.
Okay, fine.
We're in equal proportion.
We'll give it to you. Who is more spontaneous?
Okay.
Janet. Okay. Who's more a people's person?
Yeah, obvious.
People, in what respect?
Okay, guys, you know what? I think I like that. Close your eyes because I think you're calculating first. You're looking.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
In what respect?
Okay,
Thank you, Talia. Close your eyes. So who's a people's person? Like who just wants to be around people? Okay, cool. Don't Munya, you're cheating.
Sorry.
Who's more fun? Okay. Okay, cool. Who keeps time? Janet, close your eyes. Okay, makes sense. Okay. Who apologizes first?
Guys.
Obvious.
And then lastly, who likes things? If you're not from Zimbabwe, when we say who likes things, it's the person who likes the finer things of life. What?
Okay, fine.
Wow, guys. Yeah, that was interesting.
We'll have to watch this and see.
You do.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you what's going to happen.
I think they were wrong answers.
Wow, guys, thank you so much. We've had so much fun just chatting with you and just hearing about you guys. And I think I like the fact that, you know, the pointers that you were sharing with us and, you know, are pointers that we can take and apply in our marriages. Even if we're nowhere near singing, even if, you know, we are in, another world altogether in terms of business or in terms of gifting. But they're pointers, they're points that are quite practical that we can take and apply in our marriages. So
and also it's just nice to also get to hear Munya. We get to hear Janet singing all the time. Once in a while, we really love to hear Munya's voice, and it was good. Like we said, we once had a show with you guys on our radio show, and it was such fun.
It was.
So thank
Always
you
a
so much.
pleasure.
I think a lot of people have really benefited from you and from watching you. So you know what, your lives are speaking more than just the stage that you're singing, more than just the CDs, more than just the ministry in front of people. Just your marriage itself, it's amazing. Like I thought I wanted to, one of the ways I wanted to introduce you was I wanted to say that she is his rib and he is her backbone.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
Wow. Why didn't you tell me that?
So it's absolutely phenomenal to see you guys do what you do. And Munya, you are such a great testimony. I think I asked this question twice, because for men it's such a difficult thing, generalizing. Obviously, not every man is like that, but for a lot of men, it's a difficult thing to get to see your spouse shine while you're in the background. So thank you so much for being the stand-up guy, for being able to show people that you just need to be secure in who you are, secure in Christ, and let your spouse shine. I love what you said, that a candle does not lose any light by letting the other one shine. In fact, what you actually do is gain more light. So I'm sure that a lot of marriages have gained a lot of light just by listening to you and watching your lives unfold. It's one of the things that you guys you're saying you've only been in music for 5 years. It feels like you've been in music forever. That's the kind of thing.
Thank God.
You know what you've just shared tonight. I think 2 weeks ago, one of the interviews we had, the husband said, for him, when he teaches couples, he says it's a sin. According to him, it's a sin. And he was trying to illustrate the gravity of the situation. So he used the word sin. He says it's a sin if I am to take a wife and I don't
husband.
No, I'm trying to explain what he said. That if I take a wife and I don't build her up to make her a success that God created her to be. So he says my responsibility when I marry is to make sure that the woman I marry, I develop her, or I bring out the best that is in her. And I think you guys have really modeled that.
Absolutely.
Wow, thank you.
I think it was in the last session that we had Simba and Ivy at radio, where we said your wife or your spouse should be better off.
Yes.
With you.
You should be better off
than single.
Yeah.
One of the things that you also said, in fact, sorry, one more minute. One of the things that you guys said on that radio show, which I want to ask you about right now, because I think you need just to see if you're still living by that. I don't remember what exactly we had said. And then I think it was you, Janet, who said, we made a decision early on in our marriage that we're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So are you still living by that? Maybe share a little bit. As a closing. Share a little bit about that.
Okay, so I think first years in marriage, it might not be just us. You kind of have one leg out the door and you're just thinking, anytime
this person.
I can hit the road, because you're learning each other. So I don't know where, I think it was a book I read somewhere where it was illustrating that you do not choose a brother. Well, you do choose a spouse, but even if your mentality when you fight with your brother, Ivy, it should be the same mentality you have when you fight with your husband.
Yeah.
When you fight with Kelvin, you say, you say, yeah, you not netana, but
Uno,
you
uno
know,
go, but you're there.
but I'm not going. I'm still gonna be your
Yeah.
sister at the end of
Yeah.
the day. So your words are more careful. You know, Kuti, okay, whatever I say, I'm gonna have to live with it forever.
Yeah, true.
So I shouldn't just throw words willy nilly. So I then told the dude that Shaga, actually,
She's mine.
we may fight only one day, but I'm not going anywhere. So the earlier you deal with it in your head, the better for you. And he reminds me too that, you know what, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And we're going to work through anything that we face together. And it's part of that reality thing I was saying, that we don't want to pretend as if our marriage is 100%. We have challenges here and there, but the success is in overcoming those hurdles and those challenges, and we get better by the day. So 3 years ago, 10 years ago, would have never fought and remained and smiled at each other. But now we say, okay, the boxing match is finished. Now, well, not
Now come.
literal boxing,
Hey,
please.
but yeah.
But after it's done, you and I,
Come here.
let's continue the journey, because the Lord put us together.
Yeah,
And
true.
that's what it is.
True. Wow.
Awesome. I think that's a great way to close this off. So thank you guys so much. And
Thank you.
It was
Thank you for hosting us.
a
We had
pleasure.
fun, guys.
Great fun. We'll keep on following. Hey, guys, the
Thank
channel
you.
is amazing, and I really encourage everyone to go through the other podcasts or lives that we've done before.
Yeah. And you just reminded me the challenge for those who hadn't joined when they came. There was a challenge last week in our last program, and Janet and Munya said challenge accepted. So if you don't know what we're talking about, please go to our page, check what challenge
Munya
it was,
hasn't watched it,
check on the
so
program.
now I'm in trouble.
Yeah? Hey?
challenge
Munya hasn't
accepted.
watched it.
Munya, I'm telling you, brother, it's good. It's good for you, brother. It's good
Ah, my goodness.
for you. I'm glad she accepted the challenge on your behalf. It's me.
This wife of mine. Okay.
Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Totally appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Yo,
Wow.
fantastic. Fun.
It was fun.
It was good.
It was
So
fun,
good.
but I think there was so much richness in the conversation, and I love that it's practical. It's day to day, day to day life, day to day. You know what? We are not always rosy. We are not always,
Perfect.
we're not perfect, but these are the steps that we are taking, and we are building each other. We are strengthening each other. So I really enjoyed that interview.
I did too. So thank you so much for watching and for joining us. And you know what? This definitely has been good. Great. Another big round of applause to Munya and Janet. We appreciate them. And I will definitely be calling on them again very, very soon, because I think, you know what, their story just is we've just only scratched the surface. So we'll definitely be calling them back again to continue and talk more about marriage. But again, thank you. Please go ahead and watch the previous videos again if you wanted to find out what this whole challenge thing is all about.
Please.
But it's coming. The part 2 of that will be coming in the next few weeks. So stay tuned to that one. Before we go, I want to pay our rentals. Thank you so much to Zoe Zimbabwe. Zoe Zimbabwe for the super fast internet Fibronics. If you are in Zimbabwe and if you want fast internet, you've got to go connect yourself with Zoe Zimbabwe. A big shout out to Quad K Security again. We love you guys. Thank you. They're the ones that rigged us up with all these nice fine lights that we've got in here. Quad K Security. And also Innovative Technologies for all your laptops, for all your gadgets that you need, especially now with homeschooling and everything that's going on. You need gadgets. innovative technologies is the place for you to be. So again, thank you so much for watching, guys. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you for being with us each and every week as we talk marriage, as we change the narrative on marriage, and as we put a positive spin on marriage and show what really good marriage is supposed to be all about. So thank you for also helping our marriage out, because as we are watching, we're also being helped out. And as you're asking questions, those are some amazing questions that you'll be asking that we sometimes don't even think about. And so we're out here just helping each other to make our marriages work. So again, thank you so much. My name is Simba.
And I'm Ivy.
Or you can call us Mr. and Mrs. And remember,
keep on loving.
Keep on loving. Bye-bye.